Hi everybody, welcome to Healing with Marcus. I am Shaman Marcus and I sit here to share with you today about the severed connection to spirit, our severed connection to spirit. How we can do to see signs of this in our world and to strengthen our own inner connection. So when it comes to our modern day world, we're living in a state of confusion. And it's of course based on different forms of deception, different forms of deceit, and a level of dishonesty that stems from all the way up the highest echelons in our society and all the way down. And of course it's based in human fear, our sense of fear, our sense of greed, and what they call service to self. Service to self versus service to others. And service to others doesn't necessarily mean that we have to sacrifice ourselves completely. It only means that our lives cannot be lived for our own satisfaction alone. Service to self has led to this society where everyone fights for themselves. It's a survival game of basically survival of the fittest. And which is not real, right? That's actually not a truthful statement. It really serves the powers to be that we believe that, oh, I have to be stronger than my neighbor. I have to have more money than the other people around me. I have to have a nicer car, greener grass, whatever it might be. But it's not a truthful statement. If we look at many indigenous cultures, they were living in unison with each other. There were some that got infected by this virus, this parasite of fear, but many were living more in a union and a knowing that we are all together as one. So, your connection to your soul, yes? As we grow up, we learn to not listen to ourselves. When we are first born, and if you look at children who come out and grow up, in the beginning of our lives, we are all very innocent. We are in our truth, and we can kind of see the truth. And if you watch children 7 or 8 or 9 years old, a lot of times they can see through the games of the grown-ups. And to a certain degree, we have to learn how to play these games. But to another degree, when we do, we often sever our connection to spirit. Each one of us, you and I, we have if we want to envision it, it can almost look like a cord, similar to an umbilical cord, but energetic, up into the sky and down into Earth Mother. Yes? And this sphere of higher awareness, and when we say higher awareness, we mean a vibration of lightness, a vibration of both joy, but excitement. And if you look at how our modern day society has evolved, we can easily see that getting excitement away from children and getting joy away from them when they become teenagers is one of the main purposes, yes? So we can see that, you know, you have to become serious. You have to become real. And real means knowing your job, knowing to pay your rent, knowing to pay your taxes, knowing to pay, or to live in a society where money is the ruling force. This over and over, where we feel like we don't truly fit in, right? Because spirit doesn't truly fit into that world. Life and love doesn't really fit in that world. And it's very interesting to watch how we have evolved into a society of basically oppressing the human spirit. Yes? As we grow up, we take on these cloaks, these thought processes of negativity, of criticism, of, in a way, bullying. And of course, it's because we have learned, either we watch our parents do it, or we become criticized ourselves and we watch our friends and people around us do it, We learn that critical thinking is a very good skill. And of course, it is a good skill used the right way, when it's used from spirit, when it's used from heart. When you feed that umbilical energetic cord up to the heavens and down into Earth Mother, when you feed that cord, it grows stronger. But from this perspective, we have to sit in our vulnerability and our innocence, touch our innocence, become in touch with who we actually are. Beyond those levels and these identities that we've been putting on ourselves, right? We have agreed to different identities. I'm a carpenter, I'm a banker, I am a CPA, I am a, whatever it might be, a nurse, a doctor, something, right? And in those identities, we have also then layered ourselves in different parts of society. We have agreed to all these different rules and regulations that go for these different identities. But and all these identities help to sever spirit. They help to sever our umbilical cord, our connection. And you watch these children, many children are actually very spiritually aware growing up. Many of us have been, I personally was not in touch with spirits growing up, but I know many people who were. And I know people who could see the dead, hear the spirits from the other side. And as we grow up and we accept, well, I got to do well in school, I got to do all these tests, I'm stressed because I have all these pressure, I have all this pressure on me. We sever that connection. We learn that in order to feel good, we have to be cool in school. We have to wear the right shoes in order to be accepted. We have to wear the right pants, we have to wear the right makeup, the right haircut, the right brand labels to be accepted. And if we do, we are told that we will be happy. We are told that we will be all right. We'll go through life as winners. And all of that is, of course, encouraging us to sever our connection to spirit more and more and more. And as we reach the end of our teenage years and we might be going to college, we might have finished school already, we are now ready to go into the grown-up world. We're ready to go off on this adventure where we learn more about the rules of society, where we learn more about what it means to be this job or that job. And again, we're going further away from spirit, deeper into severing the connection. And this is our life force energy. This is our cord, our channel to deeper insights. It, of course, unifies in the heart, right? The higher knowings coming from the higher realms, the spheres above, and the energetic grounding from Earth Mother, the life force coming from Earth Mother. It meets in the heart. And as our hearts, then of course in our modern day society, heart doesn't mean much. The values of love, the values of art, the softer values in our society, they have very, very little value. And they get lower and lower and lower, especially as science makes its move into our consciousness more and more. Well, that's not scientifically proven, so that can't be real. Well, love is just a thought, it's just a feeling. And what we then learn is that when you come in touch with your heart and you get in touch with your different chakra systems and they are aligning, we begin to access that sense of life and of love. Yeah, a feeling of love is a feeling of being alive. And this feeling of being alive can strengthen us and help to release the stress we feel in regular society, help to release the stressors, the different negativity we're going in. Because here's another thing to watch out for, right? As the pressure from the outside is increasing, we're supposed to pay attention to the media so much. We're supposed to follow along in these negative streams of consciousness. That also helps to sever us from spirit. So as we then continue on this journey down to becoming grown-ups and becoming more settled into, I'm doing this, I'm gonna take this credit card, I'm gonna do this, buy this car, this house, whatever it might be. We are now being trapped and stuck in this wheel. Some people refer to that as the rat race. But in this wheel, there is no space for feelings. There is no space for actually being aware of what's going on within you. So we are quieting the inner voice more and more and more. If you remember, most of us will not remember, but you may remember that as a child, I remember seeing my parents saying things, doing things, and I was like, that's not true. That's not real. And whatever that might be, whether they be trying to look happy and good for a party, or while, at home, it was not a very happy place very much of the time, right? And, or it could be that we're saying to people, well, this is how beautiful it is here, but the state we were living in was not beautiful. And as we start to recognize that, hang on, we learn how to speak truth. We learn how to recognize truth in our lives. We learn how to recognize both our own behaviors and what's going on in the world, right? We strengthen that connection to spirit. Our umbilical cord to the sky and to Earth Mother grows stronger. And this allows the inner voice, your sense of conscience, to come back in. So as you open yourself up for listening within, listening to what your body wants, to what you feel, and then question. Sometimes we can question it, right? Sometimes why don't I feel good about this? That can help us past our own ego, right? Our own fears. But as we learn how to get past our ego and our fears, we start to trust our intuition. We begin to trust the information that's coming through. This teaches us to listen to our inner voice. This helps us and guides us and aids us in this growing journey that we are all on. And if we look at the negative messaging coming from the media, negative messaging in the world, and we look at how corrupt our politicians are, how corrupt the corporations are, how corrupt the whole advertising industry is, we start to recognize, we're living in a matrix. We're living in a false sense of reality. And your deeper sense of reality is in your heart. It's in your system. And you find that way both through meditation and through contemplation, journaling, moving your awareness into yourself, asking yourself questions, asking yourself, why am I feeling this bad about this interaction? Why am I feeling so negative about this person? Why am I feeling this way or that way? And as you start journaling on that, and you start to see, I feel bad because I lied about something, or I feel bad because they're lying about something, or I feel bad because, we weren't really truthful in the exchange. We learn how to be truthful to ourselves. As we're growing in this inner sense of honesty, an inner sense of integrity, we recognize that the word honor is based in the word with honesty, right? They go hand in hand. So as we learn to honor ourselves, we learn to be honest. And it's not about being honest about somebody else's appearances. It's not about being honest about somebody else's reality. It's about being honest about your reality, your sense of self, who you are, where you are in your life. This all strengthens your inner connection. Meditation is imperative for this growth. Yes? And as we then strengthen ourselves from the inside out, we can also start to see that if we get sucked into the matrix, if we get sucked into our daily strife, it's easy to see that, oh my God, my umbilical cord to the universe is being shrunken. And that is one of those things you can watch when you look at our society, even staring at our phones. We'll be shrinking our energetic connection to the world. We look like zombies walking around, staring at our phones over and over and over. So we can see that the messaging from the outside world, which is rarely, if ever, truthful, cuts ourselves off from spirit, from the higher knowing that already exists within you. You see, all the information is either already there, or it's just waiting for you to open up enough to activate your DNA, to activate your frequencies, your energy system, so you can receive downloads, so you can receive new information. And you can use your discernment to see, oh, is this information healthy for me or not healthy for me? Is this helping me grow or not? Now, one word of warning. When we go through our awakening process, it is very important to stay grounded. It's very important that if we go into the upper realms and we start talking or hearing spirit talking to us, that we use our discernment to see, is this a benevolent force or a malevolent force? Does it come in with my consent or not? And staying grounded means I stay connected to Earth Mother and in my body, so I can feel when things are going in a positive direction or not. Yes? Staying grounded is very, very important. It keeps you in a sense of reality. And at the same time, seeing through the pressure, the manufactured stress in our society is also very, very important. There's going to be a few more videos coming out soon. Today we were talking about how our umbilical cord to the universe gets shrunken as we grow up, as we learn the rules of society, as we learn the seriousness of science, the 1 + 1 always makes 2, which kind of creates this box. We shrink and crumple up our umbilical cord to the universe. And as we sit in our higher inner sphere of safety, of security, of knowingness, we strengthen that connection. And we then can begin to hear our inner voice. We can begin to listen to our inner sense of guidance. And then we can use discernment when information comes to us to see, does this seem truthful or not? And how do I live in accordance to the law of nature, to the law of your heart? Yes? There's going to be 2 more videos coming out soon. One is going to be on the war on our consciousness, and one is going to be on right and wrong. So, keep your eyes open. Please subscribe, click like and subscribe if you felt like this spoke to you. And join us on this journey into enlightenment, into awakening. Hopefully I can be of support on this journey for you. All right. Much love. Namaste and aho.